What's up, guys? I wanted to give you an update in my last video about Alex Murdaugh. We had just gotten the report that he had been placed on statewide protective custody, and that they were not releasing the actual prison yard that he was going to be housed in that protective custody unit at. I said I would talk to some of my sources who are inmates who are still in the South Carolina Department of Corrections, and we're able to communicate with each other. So I was talking to one of my sources over the weekend, and according to them, Alex Murdaugh never left Kirkland. He's no longer in the portion of the yard where the inmates are under evaluation. So, for instance, he wouldn't have that yellow jumpsuit still. They have a surrounding part around that evaluation, these buildings that house the inmates who are being evaluated, and that's where the inmates who are permanently going to be placed on Kirkland Yard remain. So we know Alex Murdaugh has to be on a maximum security prison yard. Well, Kirkland Correctional Institution is a mixed security yard, and it includes maximum. So there is a portion of this for maximum security inmates that would include Alex Murdaugh. Now they also have the restricted housing unit and the SWPC unit, the statewide protective custody unit. So according to my source, who is incarcerated at this Department of Corrections, they say Alex Murdaugh never left Kirkland. He's still there. He's just not in the portion or the same section of Kirkland Correctional Institution that he was. So he's been moved, I guess, to a more protected area. And, honestly, when I think about it, that makes sense to me. And I think I've seen a few comments on my other videos where, some people predicted this or had the theory that they would keep him on Kirkland, just they would move him over to that protective custody unit. Now, I know some people may be thinking, well, I thought he was already in the protective custody unit. No, he was on what is called administrative segregation, or admin seg for short. And so he was still under evaluation. That's why you saw him in his yellow jumpsuit. That's the jumpsuit they give you when you are on that administrative segregation. So once he finished his evaluation and they had come to a conclusion on his classification status, now he's got his official SCDC jumpsuits. He's got 5 pair of those. They took away the yellow jumpsuit. They moved him out of that admin seg isolation cell, and he's been put into an actual unit, like the report says. I believe they said he's with about 28 other inmates at the time, at this time. So he's been moved to an actual unit that is specifically for statewide PC inmates. But again, what I was saying, it makes sense to me that they would keep him there because, out of all the yards, the maximum security yards, I don't think it gets more secure and protected than Kirkland Correctional Institution. I mean, it's the central hub. It's in Columbia, South Carolina. This is where the headquarters for the whole South Carolina Department of Corrections, that's the actual headquarters is there. There's several surrounding prisons. If you look it up on Google Maps, you'll see there's actually several yards. You have a women's prison, a women's maximum security, a very minimum security camp, all in this kind of cluster. It's like the central hub for SCDC. And there's just a lot of activity, a lot more staff present. It's a lot more secure. They really have a lot of control on this yard. Okay, so I mean, it does make sense when I think about it that they would keep him at Kirkland. That seems like the most secure place he could be. So that's the update I have for you, according to my source, who is an inmate on that prison yard. Now, of course, I can't just flash up his information on the screen and tell you exactly who this is and who it's coming from. That wouldn't be too good for him. So take it or leave it. There's your update. Hope you enjoyed the video and it gave you some quick insight and information. Please subscribe if you're not already, because I will be back soon with another video.